Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Shrimp Nation. Hope you all are doing well. What is good? Thanks for being here. Apologies for this podcast being a little bit later in the week than it is usually. I had a lot of things happen this week, or last week too. So I'm going to update you all with everything. I currently have a Ricola in my mouth and it's under my tongue so I could speak a little bit more clear. So I do apologize if my speech sounds a little bit odd. I just want to test my audio really quick because my microphone might be a little bit weird because my AC's on. Yep. Okay, let me turn my AC off for a bit. All right. We're all good. All right, so let me update you guys. I had a mandatory colonoscopy and endoscopy on Friday last week, which is one of the scariest things I think I did. I mean, I've had ankle reconstruction surgery, I've had oral surgery. I don't know why the colonoscopy scares the shit out of me so much. My dad had a bunch, and my mom had a couple, my sister had a couple. And it's because our family history. So I'll deep dive into it. I know I'm an oversharer, but it is what it is. Like, I had to get it done. Number one, because my grandmother died of colon cancer at a young age. She developed cancer probably in her 20s or 30s, and she put it off and put it off. And by the time she started doing treatments, it was already, I think, stage 4, and they were just removing organs and because it just was spreading and they couldn't do anything about it really, and in the end. And yeah, her life was shortened unfortunately by something that may have been caught sooner, but it's not her fault either. I mean, it's kind of hand in hand hers and her doctor's fault because medicine has changed so much over the years, and I feel like now they really try harder. And she lived in Italy for a long time, and it could be just the doctors that were mistreating her, or it could just be also her own opinions on how she felt of wanting to live her life in her final days. Anyways, I never got to meet her, and because of this, my dad's had to get routine colonoscopies, and thankfully my mom convinced him to do it because every time they go in, they find polyps that could have, I don't know if they've had precancer cells or they could develop or something like that. And so he goes every 3 years. My sister has gotten it because she's had acid reflux problems, and she's lucky she did it when she did because she's had some sort of issue that the doctor was like, if you let it go on any longer, it could potentially cause stomach cancer or something. Hi, Pumpkin. Pumpkin made a big cry. I don't know if you guys heard that. So she did that. My mom has had issues with her acid reflux as well, and she has like a hiatal hernia and acid reflux. Hi, baby. What are you crying for? Yeah, come here. Say hi to everybody. Come here. She's sitting on top of my desk staring at me. Come here, come to the camera. She's silly. Anyways, so yeah, I just had to do it from all my family history between my parents, my sister. But I also had my own issues with my stomach for years. Like, I have had very bad acid reflux. I've been on stomach medication for a whole year, but that's also because of stress. Like, I was so stressed out working full time, going to school full time. Like, I literally made myself sick and had to stop drinking for a year. No spicy foods, no foods in general that would like trigger my acid reflux, because that's how bad it was. And I had to get like barium swallow test because my throat, like, I was losing my voice all the time because of all the acid, and they wanted to make sure it wasn't eroding my esophagus and all this shit. But I still avoided the endoscopy and colonoscopy, and I have had IBS due to stress and anxiety for years. And I couldn't avoid it any longer because this past month or 2 months that I've been I've been unemployed since January, and the past since August, so August, September, it's only been almost 2 months. I've been unemployed without supplemental income from unemployment, which income from unemployment has been very helpful with paying my bills, but has not been paying all my bills. So I've been draining my savings and racking up my credit card debt. Now my credit card debt is maxed out, and I have no more cash, basically. So I've been freaking out, as one would, with no money, no savings, no credit card availability, and plenty of debt. And, you know, with all my bills I have to pay, the scariest one are my student loans, because I have over $100,000 of student loan debt that my dad co-signed for, that he didn't want to co-sign for. He didn't want me to do it for college, but hey, my parents believed in me. They thought I could do it because I had great grades in school. So he unwillingly signed, co-signed some student loans. And unfortunately, if I can't pay my bills, they start to what's it called, dock his pay. That's not the word, but they'll take it out of his paycheck, like, automatically, which is fucked. Because they can't afford it either, or else why would I get a student loan? They would have went to college too. My sister would have went to college, so would have my brother. Anyways, that's one of my major financial responsibilities, and I've been doing my best to get forbearances on my loans since I graduated in 2023. I kept forbearance, and now it's reached the maximum point of forbearances, because I did make payments throughout college. I did make payments when I got out of school, and then I was like, hey, I can't really afford this. Like, even so, this is $1,000 a month on top of all my other bills that I'm paying, like medical debt, car insurance, credit card bills, other stuff. And yeah, it's just a lot of money. And I was able to put my federal loans on the SAVE program, if anyone's ever heard of that. And unfortunately, I just got an email saying that the current administration canceled the SAVE program, which is an amazing program that was better than nothing, because Biden said he was going to cancel student loan debt, at least for federal student loans. And people who had certain jobs, like I worked for government-run daycare, I thought I'd be qualified to have my loans dismissed, and then it wasn't, and then I had to reapply again, and then guess what? He's like, actually, we're not going to cancel student loans, actually, so go fuck yourself. Then they came out with a SAVE plan that was like, oh, sorry, I'm getting chest pains. All right, I need to chill. I get this is another thing. I get these sharp pains in my chest. Like, I have like a little heart murmur, and every time I get really stressed out, I get these pains in my chest. And that's how I know I'm stressed out. There's no fucking marker in this dumb brain that says, hey, like, calm down, you're taking in too much and stressed. Anyways, the SAVE plan was, if you can't afford your student loans, basically, then essentially they're still there. They're just on pause. Interest won't accrue, I don't think. I could be wrong on that, but I was like risking it all anyways because I couldn't afford it. And it was like, if you put it on those plan, based off, it's income-based repayment plan. So I was like, this is great because my income is shit and I won't have to owe anything. And then once you start making a lot of money, it will adjust accordingly to the money that you make, and then it will figure out how much you owe each month. So even if you start making good money and it's like, all right, you only owe $100 a month because it's better than zero, right? I was like, this is perfect. Well, our current administration canceled that out and was like, go fuck yourself. So I got an email saying that it's on a forbearance for a limited time and I'm going to have to contact them to figure it out. I can't repay that one either, which sucks. Anyways, yes, all of this stress has led my IBS to go into bits. Like my stomach's been in bits. I've been like running to the bathroom nonstop, like shitting my brains out from IBS and stress. And I don't know how to make my brain stop doing it, since IBS is just your own brain gut reaction, according to my gastro. Anyways, I did the stools test that they needed me to do, and he's like, hey, there's a lot of inflammation, we can tell, some bleeding. You need to do a call, because I told him, I was like, look, this is my family history. I'm going based off your judgment. Tell me if I need a colonoscopy and endoscopy. This is everything that's happened to me. This has happened to my parents. This is what happened to my sister. I need to know. Like, can I wait? Because I don't want to do this, but I don't want my own misjudgment to misguide my health. So you're the doctor. You tell me what to do. And he's like, well, by insurance standard, you shouldn't get into colonoscopy until you're 40. And I was like, let's pretend insurance is not on the table and it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the cost. Doesn't matter. Just give me your pure medical opinion on this certain situation and in this matter. Then he changed, tables turned immediately and was like, actually, you should get it done based off the stool test. And I said, okay, I will, meet you in the middle. I'm not going to do it until a stool test unless you give the word, because I've been avoiding it because of my own stupid anxiety. And so, yeah, so I finally was like scheduled, and I tried not to think about it, which made my IBS worse, and panicked for 3 days before my colonoscopy and endoscopy. And then I finally did it. Had a panic attack for 2 hours beforehand, delayed my procedure by 40 minutes because I couldn't calm down. I couldn't use weed for like 4 days, which doesn't help because it helps my anxiety and besides my back pain and stuff. So it's just one of those things that it's like, I wish you would just kind of give me something, because I don't take like any anxiety medication, but like, I wish you could just give me, like, I don't know why I told them, like, is there anything you can just like put in my IV just to chill out a little bit? Like, I don't know what anxiety medication feels like. Like my sister took anxiety medication. She said she felt like a zombie and that's why she stopped taking it. And now she only takes like Xanax on airplanes when she has anxiety, but every time she takes it on an airplane, she has a panic attack the whole time. The Xanax doesn't work. So she starts drinking, which you're not supposed to do. And then by the time that she lands, the medication finally kicks in. And I think it's because her own fight or flight, like not non-comedically fight or flight instinct is just panicking her, and it doesn't work. So I'm just like, at least weed doesn't make me sober up. I'm still high, Anyways, I don't know. Procedure went well. I just got a phone call like right before I started doing this, and I had a bunch of biopsies. That's why I have this lozenge in my mouth, because everything hurts. Like I have like here in my stomach, and in my bowels, by my colon, like a bunch of biopsies, right? And I just got the results of the biopsies. He said they're good, and he said that they're good, but I have to do an MRI of my intestines, because during the procedure he said my appendix is inflamed. So they want to see an MRI of like a bunch of things to see if I have inflammatory bowel disease or Crohn's, or if there's something going on with my appendix, and I have to do like a contrast that I have to swallow. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Those are my updates. I have more updates actually. I started working part-time, which is even less than part-time. It's kind of like 1 day a week at this place, which is better than nothing. Thank God I have something. And I'm still waiting to hear back from the second job that I've been applying to since June. And it's really like not that serious. Like, I don't know why it makes it seem like I'm working for the fucking Pentagon the way that they're acting. And anyways, it's been a whole thing. Like I have to do a medical appointment with them to see if my medical health is good before doing it, which I was like, okay, that's fair. I understand. And then like after the appointment, I got a call like with like one of the PAs was like, oh, like you wrote down that, even though I did drug test, by the way, and they didn't say anything about it. Like I have a medical card in New York State and it's also recreational use legal, but some jobs still say it's prohibited. But if I have a medical card, they can't say shit about it. Well, this lady like freaked out and was like, oh, you can't use it while you're working. And I'm like, I know, I'm aware, I've never done that. And she's like, well, you can't use it while you're driving either. And I'm like, I never done that because that's super illegal. And then she's like, oh, and then you wrote that you have a back issue and you can't lift over 10 pounds. Like we wouldn't have hired you if you knew that. And I was like, so you guys discriminate with people against disabilities? And like, that's against the ADA. And she's like, oh, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. And I said, that's exactly what you're saying is that because I need accommodations for lifting over 10 pounds, you're not going to hire me. And she's like, no, it's just that we don't do accommodations for people that before they get hired. It's something that happens like to our employees later on. If they need it, then we do it. I said, so that you're still discriminating against people. And I said, and either way, like my job doesn't require me to lift 10 pounds. I'm just sitting at a desk doing paperwork. And she's like, so why would you write that down then? And I was like, because the nurse in my appointment said I didn't write it down at first. And then she started asking me questions about my health and how I didn't bring my health records with me that they wanted. And then like, why do I take the medical weed? And then I said, this is why I take the medical weed. It's for my back. And they're like, well, you didn't say you had back problems. And I was like, because it's not necessary to my job function. I'm just sitting at a desk all day. And then she's like, no, because if you ever did any transferred jobs within this company, and you work somewhere else, at least they're aware of the situation. So I wrote it down. Now this lady calls me and she has a fucking problem with me saying that, well, you have to contact your doctor and get a letter. And then, but basically then we'll see. Right. So then I was like, all right, this fucking bitch is insane. If I don't get hired now for this, like I'm fucking reporting them because it's super illegal. And honestly, and she said, oh, well, 10 pounds isn't a lot. If it was 20 pounds, I would understand. And I said, well, that's my function and that's what my doctor says. So it's not for you to decide. Anyways. So yeah, I contacted my doctor. It took a few days to get the thing because he's busy because there's Jewish holidays. And they emailed me the letter and I emailed it to her. I emailed her a copy of my medical card for weed because she requested that as well, and haven't heard back. And because this happened before my colonoscopy, I haven't been feeling good. Like been basically like laid up. I've been very bloated because they fill you up with air, but also just sore from the biopsies and just mentally I feel so exhausted. Like if I close my eyes right now, I feel like I could fall asleep. Like that's the level of exhaustion I'm feeling right now. Because this other job that I'm working is manual labor, but it's not like out of my capability. And guess what? I didn't have to give them a letter. It wasn't a big fucking deal. I told the guy this is what I could do, and he's like, all right, just do what you can. Like it's not that hard. It's literally not that hard. Anyways, so yeah, I'm exhausted, and this is my life, and I hope I get the job because they have great benefits. That's all I care about is I need health insurance because by December I'm getting off of the Medicaid, I think, because it's income based. If I get a job, then I have to get a different insurance. So, well, right now, because I'm making like literally $100 every 2 weeks, it's nothing basically. So I still qualified for Medicaid, but anyways, yeah, that's essentially my life and my updates. So 20 minutes of all that bullshit has been my 2 weeks since my last podcast. All right, now to get down with the down and dirty. I know my hair looks a bit frizzy today, but I want to show you all. A little bit wavy. It's kind of flattened out since I woke up. It was really curly this morning. Changed my shampoo. I know I posted like a TikTok a while ago about like, I don't know what to do if I have like wavy hair because every time, well, right now it's frizzy. And then like my baby hairs over here always get really curly, especially after a shower or like a workout or humidity. My hair gets, only the baby hairs get super curly. So I'm like, I think my hair is wavy. Like I straightened my hair, did so much heat damage as a kid that it's never really had the opportunity to be wavy. I remember it being wavy as a kid, but like I always had to have my hair slicked back because of school, and I know I talked about that in a previous podcast episode. So it was really like gel, like you're about to put a wig on and you don't want to see your hair in sight. It was like slick back, bald. And yeah, I never really had the chance for it to be curly. And whenever I did see it, like my baby hairs that would curl up around here would piss me off. I'd straighten the fuck out of it because it would stick straight out like this way and all my hair would be straight. But yeah, I changed my shampoo and it's a curly hair shampoo. And my hair has felt less dry, actually. You can see it's a little bit shiny. And it's had a more volume, which right now it's a little bit frizzy, but it's okay. And it's been more wavy and it's looking a little cute, so I'm feeling it. I'm happy about that. The other update is the last episode I was filming before San Gennaro's feast. So happy San Gennaro's to all my Italians out there, all my Neapolitans. I went to San Gennaro's feast in Mulberry Street for the first time ever. I've been to Little Italy one time before in 2016. I went there because I was getting my passport in the city, like an emergency passport before I went to Ecuador. And right after, we were kind of close by somehow, or we ended up just going there because we were just in that part of the city. And we went out to lunch there and it was amazing. Sorry. We went out to lunch. It was amazing. I had like gnocchi with pesto, fresh, 10 out of 10. And my dad had like a nice fresh pizza. It was just overall great. I just remember that vividly. And I wanted to go back to the restaurant since, and I didn't have the opportunity to. Even though we were there, it was insane, guys. Like the block went on forever. Like, I don't think Little Italy is that big anymore, genuinely. I think they just kept it going, like traditional, whatever. And my mom went when she was a kid, I think, or she's never went before. I don't think she's ever went before. My God, the vendors are insane. Like, so I don't want to ever discourage anyone from going because, like, you know, I thought it would be a good thing, but I think it's different than like the other festivals I've been to for a saint that like the money proceeds should go to the church. Now, I don't know if these vendors are doing any generous donations or a percentage does go to a church or anything. Like we saw a San Gennaro statue and people could put donations there, but like that was not mentioned at all, and it kind of felt like we lost the plot, chat. Like it did not feel like I'm not trying to say it had to be religious. It's also a cultural thing. But if anyone does any research about why the San Gennaro's festival and feast is a thing in Naples, Italy, it's to celebrate the saint who has done great for the city of Naples, the people, and all of that. It's one of those things. And just like any other Italian feast that's celebrating a saint, it's usually a church organization running it, and partial of the proceeds, like let's say 10-20% of whatever sales, go to the church to give back to the community and all that. Don't know what's going on with San Gennaro's. There was no signs or anything. It didn't seem any sort of like religious thing. It just felt like a fair, I guess, but like not even a fair. It was just crazy. Like there was just loads of people walking in the streets. Like you could barely walk, you could barely stand, nowhere to sit, which is uncomfortable already. Like I felt like they should have accommodated more for people with disabilities in some sort of way. Like no tables or chairs at anywhere. And I know all these people had stalls and it's not their fault, but whoever is running the feast, they should be like required to put like benches or something. Like somewhere. Like there should be some sort of eating areas. Like there was none at all, which is insane. Like there were some restaurants that were still open behind, like they were like not even on the sidewalks. These stalls were in the street, which made the street smaller. Then the restaurants were there. The sidewalks were free, but they were really blocked by some tents and some, you know, like electricity outlets, whatever was going on. Some people were walking there. Those stores are still open. Those restaurants are still open. So those restaurants did have seating, of course, but they were max capacity. Like you could not get in. Anyways, we spent so much fucking money there. It was unreal. Like I had no cash on me, of course, because I'm a broke bitch. And I was like hungry for lunch. And I was like, fuck. We have to find something. Like, it wasn't just me, it was my sister too. She didn't have cash on her. She never went before. So we found the sausage and peppers place, making fresh sausages and peppers. It looked great. And it was $25. $25, bro. And I had mine with broccoli. I love broccoli rabe. But they made it too rare. Like it was too much bite to it. Like I literally had to like, you know, and they didn't chop it up or anything. It was like the whole broccoli rabe like piece from the stems, so it was difficult to eat. Like I was like literally squeezed with all my might, like the freaking the freaking sandwich basically. And it was good, but not $25 worth. And the prices were so absurd. Like there is this place that had Paulides and panzarota, and like he was selling them for $20 a rice ball. Like they weren't even like this big. They weren't like when we make them, or we make them at home, it's this big. And I know it's a lot of work because me and my mom, my brother will make an assembly line of like who's filling the rice, you know, pack it in, the next one egg, the next one we got the what's it called, the breadcrumb, and then the next one's frying it. So we got like 4 people going, because doing it by yourself's a lot of work, and you don't want it to sit there in the egg and breadcrumb too long, because it kind of, and then it just like, you don't want it to fall apart. You want it to be tight, you want it to be good, you want to fry it nice. But it's a lot of work. But $20 a rice ball, and I was like, bro, those don't even look great. Like they didn't even look like they were fried properly. Like they looked soft and mushy, and I was like, bro, he's crazy. Then he starts yelling in Italian to this lady, because she was like, $20 for a rice ball, what are you, fucking crazy? And then he's like, oh, like this is from Italy, what do you expect? Like this is what the prices are, which is bullshit, because I know he's off the boat from Italy and he thinks that you can make prices that way. But honestly, when we went to Italy, it was like $5 a rice ball, and it wasn't even that great. When I went to Sicily, I was like, I need to have a rice ball from Sicily, because everyone says Sicilians make the best rice balls. And hey, I'm part Sicilian, so don't come for me. But they don't. They really don't. I'm sorry, but like I had rice balls from street food, I had it from a restaurant, and again, mushy, falls apart. And the inside, like they put peas inside, they made it with a little sauce, and it just wasn't, it wasn't as good. I'm sorry, but anyways, $20 for a rice ball is like insane. But he wasn't the only one. I can't blame the one guy. Everybody had overpriced prices. And I don't know if it's because people just think they can price things that high because it's a fair and people are desperate, so they have to eat something. But I feel like I'm very old-fashioned when it comes to businesses, is that if you make moderate prices or even less, offer a little discount, you get more people in, you make more money at the end of the day. People think if you lower your prices, you're going to lose money, but you're not, because lower prices are going to get more people. Because if I get something and I say, hey, that pizza vendor has $15 pizza and everybody else has $25 and up, even if it's $15 for a personal, which is kind of fine for New York. So then I'm going to call my sister and be like, hey, this is the cheapest place. And then she's going to call her friends and they're going to come over. And then their friends are going to call their friends. And then that's how it's going to go. Hey, pumpkin. And then they're going to get more business. Like that's how all businesses are. Everybody wants the best deal. No one wants to spend a lot of money on overpriced food. But the good thing that came out of it, which I don't see right now, which I wanted to show you guys, I got these magnets from this vendor who I think it was like a couple bucks for like 12 magnets, like $2 for 12 magnets or something, and they're like resin magnets. So I got these shrimp magnets and they're so freaking cute, and I wanted to show you guys, but I'm a little bit unprepared because my room's in shambles since I haven't been feeling good. Like whatever I have, I just kind of been stuffing away, and I don't know where anything is right now. I'm trying to remember. My mom gave it to me and I put it in a bag, but I don't know where the bag is. Anyways, when I find it, I'll show it to you guys. So overall, I'd say it was a 5 out of 10 experience because I was hoping for like sort of cultural feeling, like just the embracing of the Italian culture, as well as like, you know, it going to a good cause. I don't know if it really did go anywhere. Like I said, there's no signs. It didn't say all proceeds go to this church or something. And it just, the vibe, it just, I don't know. They had some good music in some parts of it. I can't complain about that. I'm glad I got to spend time with my family. I'm glad I got to try something new. But it wasn't just something that I think I want to go to Italy and just experience the real one is really what I'm trying to get at. Like I literally like said that when I went to Italy last year. I was like, yeah, like I need to see like the procession that they do and the feast that they do and all that. Like I need to see that. I think that would be great. But here it's kind of just like, all right, let's do something. Anyways, so that was that. So that's my update for there. And then my other update for you guys is I went to Renaissance Fail. I went to Renaissance Fail on Sunday. What day is today? No, Saturday. I went on Saturday. I went the day after my colonoscopy and endoscopy, which was insane. Felt like shit. I couldn't really eat much. Like every time I've been eating, it's been soft foods, and it's been taking me like an hour to eat everything just because it's painful. And like, have you guys ever swallowed a chip without chewing it properly? And it's like a sharp, rigid, small piece, and you just can feel it slowly going down and scraping until it hits your stomach. Same thing, like if you ever swallowed an ice cube on accident, not like a big one, but just enough for it to be painful. That's kind of like how it feels when I've been eating food. But yeah, I had a great time. I dressed up as a fairy princess elf, and it was a butterfly fairy princess elf actually, and I felt so pretty, and I've never felt like so accepted, like, and magical and nerdy in a place before in my life. I thought like I'd feel like that maybe at TwitchCon, but I felt like the judgments at the same time. There, it was like, I love the New York Renaissance Fair. First of all, I've been to Renaissance fairs in Florida, and that cannot compare. New York Renaissance Fair is the best Renaissance fair I've ever been to, because they have a whole like village. Like this property is insane, and it's like built structures, like, and it looks mystical. Like it looks like you are in a fucking fairy tale. It's beautiful, and everyone goes hard with their costumes. Like there's not one person I saw that was not like in character. And I love that the vendors stay in character too. It felt like when you go to Harry Potter World in Orlando, when like you're talking to them and they're like in Hogwarts. Like that's actually the second time I felt that way, is like Hogwarts and in Orlando, like Harry Potter World on both sides. They're very much in character, like you were there. And that's how I felt at the Renaissance Fair, which made me happy. So many beautiful people in costumes, and it just felt good. And I felt so nice too, because like everyone's not judgmental. Like it's kind of just like, wow, like you're so creative. Like that's all I kept saying is like, oh my god, like this person's costume is this and this person's costume is that, and it's like I could have thought of that. And then who's doing video games, who's doing movies, who's doing like animated series, and and like the groups of people, like they would make their costumes together. And what I did was, like, with my butterflies, I bought butterflies that I attached to me, like I put them on my makeup, so you guys can check that out on my Instagram. I cut the wings and put them for my eyes, and then I glued them all over my dress, and my corset had like sewn in pattern of butterflies. That's what gave me the idea. I also had nails that had butterflies that were press-ons that I made, and I fucking forgot to put them on in the rush of getting ready in the parking lot. As is tradition, everybody gets ready in the parking lot because I had to drive like over 2 hours to get there with traffic. But yeah, it was such a magical experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend for anybody who's in, like, I guess the tri-state area, or even if you're not, dude, just come and experience it. I heard they had a big one in Texas too, but I would say New York because I mean, I wish I went in October just because the fall leaves are just starting. Like, you can see in some of the trees, and it was nice. There were some fall leaves on the ground, but I feel like I would transport myself to like a different world if it was like more fall leaves and a little bit chillier, because it was a little bit hot, but it was fine. But it was nice. We got to see the joust, and I wanted to see the pickle priest. If anybody knows, you know, the pickle priest. And I needed to get his little blessed pickle, but he was not there. I asked everybody, and then one of the people that worked there was like, he's on a sabbatical. And I was like, no, like fell onto my knees in the parking lot of Walmart type shit. But they have other pickle priests. I did not know. Like, I thought it was just his stall. They have like 3 of them. So I did get my blessed pickle. It was a great pickle. Actually, I love pickles. I love sour, salty pickles, and it was great. And it just makes me want to buy more pickles. Like I have to go to like a deli or something and get them more fresh than from like pre-packaged or something. I got a historically known to me a turkey leg, which you guys don't know about, but one thing about me is I fuck up a turkey leg at every Renaissance fair I go to. And there's a story that my parents always tell that they thought was just so funny, because in Florida, like, I always wore hoodies and jackets, like even on the hottest days on earth. Like, I don't know why, just to cover up. Also, because I was a little bit emo, I used to self-harm and I used to try to cover up my cuts. And also, I think it was just cover up because of being overly sexualized all the time. But so I finally took off my jacket. I wrapped it around my waist, double knotted it, and I was eating a turkey leg, but I got full halfway through because I did have a pickle. You know, pickles are pretty infamous at Renaissance fairs, it seems. And they gave it with aluminum foil wrapped around it. So what I did was I just wrapped it up in aluminum foil. I put it in the back pocket of my jacket pocket that was hanging around my waist. And everybody just like thought it was so funny, because no one's like, who the fuck's gonna walk around a Renaissance fair with a turkey leg in your back pocket but me? It's me, guys. What can I say? I hate to waste food. I was gonna go back for it later, which I did. And it was just kind of funny, like so many people broke character that were in the Renaissance fair that they were like, all right, that's pretty medieval, rock on. But I was totally prepared to do that this time. And I was like, I'm gonna do it again if I have to, since I'm like, eating is kind of painful. But I shared it with my sister and my brother-in-law. It was kind of like communal turkey leg. But like, everybody just had a bite and then it was done. So I was like, all right, good. At least it didn't go in my pocket for later. Didn't have to carry it around. But yeah, we went to a bunch of shops. You know, I'm a broke bitch, so I did not buy anything except for my pickle and turkey leg and my ticket to get there. And at first I was like, damn, it's $50 to go to the Renaissance Fair. And I was like, just to walk around. But just the experience to walk around for the day, I think it was worth the $50, honestly. Like, they really outdid themselves with the structures and seeing the show. Like, let's pretend like out of everything, like all the shows they do are free. They have plenty of shows going on. So it's like, you know, paying the employees there, if you think about it. You know, it's they're in character, they're jousting, they have a cat show, they have comedy shows, they're really doing the most. So go support your local Renaissance fair or the New York Renaissance Fair if you can. Yeah, so that was great. I was gonna bring this sword, but instead I brought a dagger that I got. I'll show you guys. Hold on. Bam. Which I'm pretty sure it's a real blade. Like, it's metal, but it's dull, so this would be painful. The point is a little bit sharp, but it's nice. Nothing expensive. I got this on Amazon a long time ago for like $10. Made in China, and this is the only reason why I bought it. And I had this on I bought like a leather, like I don't know what it's called, like a garter or whatever, that just to hold it, to be part of my costume. And I was holding it in my chest for a while. I just love daggers and swords. Like, I have one tattooed on me, but also I don't know if I can put this here. Here we go. Because it's fucking cool. Swords are cool and daggers are cool, but every time I go to a Renaissance fair, I want to buy one. And no shade, please, no shade to anybody has a stall at Renaissance fair. But there's two kinds of people. Like, there's real blacksmiths, there's real glass blowers, there's real people that are making these crafts by hand themselves. Support those people. Local artists, those crafts should not die, especially in a world where we're overtaken by machines and 3D printing and whatever else, which is cool, but like, let's not forget like how swords are forged like originally. Like, I love this guy on, his name's Eon, I think, and he's on TikTok and he's Irish, and he's a carpenter, but he handcrafts everything with old tools that they don't use anymore, that are non-electrical machines. And then he has a friend that's a blacksmith that's doing the same thing. And I think that's one of those beautiful things in life that should still happen, and those crafts should be supported. And anyways, support those people. But there's two types of people at the Renaissance Fair, and you can check them out and see their validity, their validness. I can't say it. You can find it out yourself, basically. If you look at the sword, like this dagger, you're checking it out, it tells you where it's made. It's stainless steel from China. $10. Not saying it's a bad thing. Like, it looks great. Like, it's perfect for decorations. Like, exactly what I wanted to do. And a lot of them you can buy like a foam one that costs almost $40, and there's metal inside for weight. So for cosplay, it's nice, but it's foam, dude. It should not be $40 for foam. But anyways, like, there's some stalls that will buy it from Amazon or whatever site, and then they're reselling it to you for a crazy price. Like, one of my sister's friends, he bought a dagger for like $45. That's a Lord of the Rings dagger, and he got scammed. And I was like, I didn't realize it until it happened. Like, because we were waiting around, like, basically we were just walking around, and we all had missions. Like, I was like, I need a pickle, I need a turkey leg, I need to see the joust. Those are my three main things. The rest of the stuff that comes is up to you guys. Everybody had a thing that they wanted to see. So we all kind of just walked around together. It's a huge property. And then if we saw it, we stopped. And if we wanted to stop, we stopped, and whatever. So we're all talking. They were drinking. I wasn't, because of my tummy. And we had a great time. And yeah, so we stopped, and he went inside, and he was getting a dagger. And then after he checked out, I was like, no, wait. And it was too late. And he got. And I was like, dude, like, you could at least get it on Etsy, like, if not Amazon or whatever. And maybe even freaking Shein. Sometimes they have stuff like this. You just gotta do a little bit of research before. And that's exactly why I never bought it at Renaissance Fair, because some of the things, it's like, I could buy it cheaper somewhere else. But then later in the Renaissance Fair, we went to this place that he like actually makes the swords himself. Now the prices went from like, 40 to 100 to like 200 to 2000 type of thing. That's how you know it's real, but like you can check. So on the blade, he had it stamped himself. You can feel the weight, you can see the quality, you know, even like his container was leather bound, like you know that that is like handcrafted. I'm not saying to not support the other guys, like you guys can support whoever you want, like please, like if you want to go buy something like from somebody who's reselling, that's up to you. They may have something cool that's not on the internet, that's your thing, but for me personally, like if I'm going to purchase something expensive, I want to make sure I can't get it somewhere else cheaper, and that's maybe because I'm broke or maybe because that was how I was raised. I don't know. I don't like to waste money like that. But of course, I would love to have a hand forged sword from a blacksmith, like proper, nice one. But that's just not my cards right now. When I make more money, yes, one day that's gonna be my big spend. But anyways, we went to that shop and everyone's like, "Oof, that's a lot of money," but you know, it'll be worth it one day. We got some donuts. What else? What I was saying with my butterflies, I didn't get to finish saying. So I had butterflies on my dress. It was part of my costume, and I saw on TikTok that some people like to trinket trade. So I had all my extra butterflies, and I sprinkled some glitter on them. And then anybody who came up to me that I figured, whatever opportunity may be, I will give them my free butterflies. So I gave it to some of my friends that were with us, and whoever wanted it. And then like if any, like I had like a bunch of people come up to me, be like, "I love your butterflies," and I said, "Oh, thank you. Do you want one?" And then they get all excited, and then I give it to them, and sometimes they'll give me something back. So I got little trinkets. So I don't know if this is here. This is a bag of stuff that I have to put away from the Renaissance Fair. I'll show you guys my nails that I made, at least they're here. I do make press-ons for myself often since the pandemic because I hate having real nails. They really like cause an issue for me in my daily life. Like they piss me off. All right, I think this is the bag. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. This is my garter that I got. That it's leather, it's cute. I put that on my thigh with my sword in it. And then body glitter. I brought this for the community. Well, for the crew, really. Not for the community. Everybody got fairy dust. And then these were my butterflies that I had all over me, and it has glitter. It has stickers you could stick on. So I cut it off and I stuck it on my eyes and also stuck it on my stuff. These are my fairy elf ears I got from my friend. And then I'll show you guys my trinkets I got for giving my butterflies away. So it's covered in glitter, so that's on me. That's not from them. So I got this squishy. My freaking camera would gotta do the influencer thing. This little freaking squishy looks like a little chipmunk. And everybody looks so cool in their costumes too. Okay, I got a jar of crystals. Come on. Look at that. And then I got this little lizard. Hold on. Focus. Focus, camera, focus. Look at these cute little trinkets. And I thought it was so cool because it's like one of those niche things that nobody knows about, and I never thought I would get anything back. I just thought I would be like a mystical fairy princess and I would give my butterflies to everybody. Because I seen on TikTok like these rats that gave out the plague to everybody, and they had a stamp that was like a stamp of fleas, I think. So everybody who got stamped got the plague. So I thought that was cool. If you can give out stuff part of your costume, I think makes it even cooler. And then I'll show you my nails. So I made them gold. This is the thumbnail. Okay, and then this was going to be my ring finger attached. So I was gonna have all regular nails, and then on my ring finger would have been these butterflies. So womp womp. It would have been pretty, I think. So I do have this. Maybe I can do it again for some other occasion or Renaissance Fair next year. I don't know. I kind of like the thing that you can just change up what you do, but also like people do get known for like what they wear. And I feel like they get excited to see you again next year. I'm not sure. So there's these girls that I met that are super funny on TikTok. I always forget their name, but they did a video with Brandon Rogers. Their names are I think it's Carmen and Lupita. I met them by accident. They're one of the girls was like, "I love your butterflies," so I gave them both butterflies, and that made me happy. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've seen you on TikTok. You guys are so cool." But yeah, I think overall it was a good experience to be a nerd. Number one. Number two, I had a great time with my friends. Number three, it felt good to dress up and not feel judgment. Like I said, like Harry Potter may be the second place that I felt that way, but I think this place would be number one. Just because there are some people that aren't fully in the fantasy of Harry Potter, and like parents that are like, this shit isn't real, like whatever. Just live in the fucking moment, Karen. But nobody was like that at the Renaissance Fair. Everybody was in it. Like, even this guy, and I thought it was the cutest thing. Like, he didn't really have a fit on, but he had his child in like one of those baby straps, and he put like a mushroom cap hat on its head, and I was like, oh my god, that is so cute. Like, you just did this cutest little thing, like, that could possibly happen, like, for a baby. Like, even though like he didn't put on some crazy fit, his little baby's involved, and he's just a cute little, you know, fairy forest mushroom. What the heck? Anyways, people dressed up their dogs that they brought. I don't know, I just had a great freaking time. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Definitely, like, not non-sponsored New York Renaissance Fair. If you want to sponsor me, I'll go back this year. Like, y'all hit me up. Give me free tickets, I'll come back. It's worth the 2-hour drive. But yeah, I had a great time. And also, like, I think that's like a big news for me, healing with my social anxiety. Like, just feeling dressed up and pretty, like, as a fairy princess with nerds, and feeling comfortable. Like, so many people came up to me and even just asking about stuff, because there was this one girl who was very, very short, and I never had to look down on someone. She was very pretty. I loved her costume too. She came up to me because we were talking about the pickle priest, and I was like, I want to go see the pickle priest, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I heard you guys talking about the pickle priest. Do you know where he is? And I was like, no, we're looking on the map right now. And then she stood with us for a while. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have information. Like, I try to look on TikTok to see if he posted anything and if he was there, or anybody posted online. Because, you know, everybody was like, makes a TikTok as soon as it happens. But I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't give, you know, I should have gave her a fairy butterfly. But I just, you know, in the moment, I didn't think of it. But I think it's big news for me, being able to do that. For all those hours, talking to so many strangers, and just walking around a social setting so crowded and not feel anxiety. And that's progress, chat. Like, that is crazy, because usually, like, I feel so overwhelmed. Like, I need to just like take a step back, breathe, walk away, just like plug my ears, just leave type shit, get high to calm down, or drink. And I didn't, because number one, I couldn't smoke because of my procedure, like physically smoke my weed, and I couldn't take any edibles because of my stomach, also because of my procedure, because of the biopsies, and I couldn't drink also because of the same reasons. So I went in like already from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days sober from everything, which it's not like I have a problem, guys. I really don't. I don't drink that often. It's really like probably a once a month thing, just because I do have stomach issues, and I don't really enjoy drinking anymore. I'd rather just get high and chill out at the end of the day. And it's not like I over abuse weed either. But anyways, I do usually take weed almost daily. I try not to if I don't have to, just for my back or my anxiety. And anyways, let me turn the AC on. being at an event for over 4 hours and not feeling like I couldn't breathe is great progress. And I've been trying to work on myself with my anxiety. Like, I just gaslight myself into thinking it's not real. I literally told myself, like, I was like, anxiety isn't even a real emotion. At the end of the day, we have happiness, we have sad, we feel like loss when people die. Like, it's just versions of sadness, right? You know, I felt all these feelings. I've been through all the stages of grief. I've felt many versions of happiness and joy and euphoric feelings of joy within joy. Like, I'm not even talking about this from a psychological perspective. Pretend I don't have a psychology degree, because I know anxiety is real. So please, that's not what I mean. I know it's a serious thing, and I know it's a debilitating disorder. So, like, in all seriousness, it's so serious. But with my own anxiety that's been crippling for so many years for me, like socially and non-socially, I'm so tired of it taking control of my life. And the same thing with my depression. Like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm just gonna gaslight myself into thinking everything's okay, because like, why am I looking at things with darkness? I should just think of things glass half full. Like, I have my health, I have a roof over my heads, I have a job, I was going to school. Like, technically everything's fine. There's no reason my brain should be feeling this way. Same thing, like I've said it, I think on either a stream or the podcast before, like, when it's gloomy days, like, that gloomy day is gonna change. It's okay. Like, and it's okay that days are gloomy, and it's okay to feel sad in a moment, but it's not okay to like make those moments last into hours and days and weeks and months and so on. Like, there has to be a point where you're okay with those feelings in the moment, and sometimes they're justifiable and sometimes they're not. And then you have to sit down and realize, okay, like, this is not a feeling I want to feel forever. Like, you can't get lost into it and just accept the fact that it is what it is. And that's how I'm changing my perspective. That's how I changed my perspective on depression. It took many years. Like, I've been depressed since like 2009, I think, truly. And it stopped being depressed in like 2023. And it does come in waves still, don't get me wrong, but it's not the way it felt before. And I haven't been having dark thoughts and self-harming. So like, that's the difference of it all. But same thing with anxiety is I've had anxiety my whole life, and I remember as a kid, like, always feeling it in crowded places. And I think it does have something to do with autism or ADHD, but just being in a room of all the people, like, I can't breathe and I can't think, and I hear all the noises and I hear all the music, and then I hear everything individually. Like, I can hear all the lyrics of the music, I can hear our conversation at the table, I can hear the one next to me, the one behind me, the one in front of me. And then all of a sudden it goes from all these conversations happening at the same time and all these noises to one loud, like, like, and then like all this noise, and it's just noise. It doesn't even have words, it's just loud. I have to step outside, I can't breathe, and it doesn't stop. And then it's like, okay, it's finally quiet, I can breathe, I can go back inside, and then it starts over, and then I have to do it again and again and again until it just stops. Or I just smoke a little bit of weed, and then it's not there. All the noises are gone. So that's how my anxiety is sometimes in crowded places. And then social anxiety, it's like I lose the words, I stutter and can't breathe, and I need to just walk away, and then I'm just like saying things like word vomit, that it's like, and then I just start talking shit about myself. Like I met this TikToker that he's like a really big inspiration for me, and then I literally was just like, oh, like, my hands are ugly. Like, he was like, I like your rings. I'm like, oh, I have man hands. Like, what? Like, he's just giving me a compliment, and I say something that's like unnecessary. Like, I don't really think I have man hands. Like, my fingers are chunky, but so am I. Who cares? But it's just like, why would you say something like that? And every time he would be like, oh, I like your hair, and I'm like, oh, it's orange and ugly. Like, I have to re-dye it. And then he's like saying something nice, and it's just like, why are you putting yourself down? Like, I don't know if that's really an anxious trait, or that's just like, I have no idea what the fuck it is. It just really does come out with social anxiety, though. It's like, I can't have a really conversation without like shit talking myself. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I was saying this, I think last episode or 2 episodes ago, it's like talking shit to yourself in the mirror every day you wake up. It's like, You wouldn't say that to somebody else. All those mean things I'm saying to myself every time I look at myself, I would never say that to somebody. I would never like look at someone and pick out all those imperfections and talk shit to them ever. Like, even to the most of the time, the people that are very mean to me, I wouldn't even do that. So it's like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, love yourself. What the hell? Anyways, I feel like it was a big moment for me to be sober at the most anxiety riddling social place I could be. And even with the San Gennaro's feast being crowded, I wasn't really anxious as much as I thought it'd be. I felt like I was, because more of like claustrophobia, anxiousness, like because it was really tight and there was no people to walk. Like there was no room to walk and there was too many people is what I'm trying to say. But with the Ren Fair, there was a lot of people. There was room to walk though. There's plenty of lands, plenty of lands to ride your horses in basically. But yeah, I wasn't really stressed and I felt good. So I feel like that's big progress for me. I know I wanted to talk to you guys about some more things about my life, but let's see my notes up because we're getting close to an hour. Oh, okay. I wrote down the thing that I forgot about the San Gennaro's feast that was the highlight was when we were walking down to the subway. We were walking down the subway, we found the oldest church of St. Patrick's. So I thought, I've seen the St. Patrick, can't speak English. I've seen the St. Patrick's Cathedral many times in Manhattan, and it's a beautiful cathedral. It's big, white, and they redone it a bunch of times. They redone it pretty recently too. Infrastructure is beautiful, a lot of art. But we walked down and there was a small church and it said it's the oldest church and I was like, holy crap. I gotta find some pictures. It was so beautiful. They had beautiful stained glass and statues of saints and they have a little piece of Ireland in there, which I thought was cool that they brought it from New York. They have etched into the walls like history, which I thought was really cool. Okay, it says original stone from like I don't know what it says because the reflection, something wall of Apparition Chapel, and I can't read it because the reflection, something Ireland, presented to Monsignor Donald something because the reflection is in the way, pastor of the Basilica of St. Patrick's, Old Cathedral, New York. So this is the old cathedral. So it's the first one. And then they rebuilt a second one, which nobody knows about. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, this was presented in 2017. So this is I'm assuming the church in Ireland, because I went to St. Patrick's. It doesn't look like that. Or this is what it used to look like in New York. I could be wrong. But oh, maybe that's just what it looks like in New York. So I posted these on my stories. It's a cute little church, but it's pretty big. I can't even say it's little. It's beautiful. Like the lighting is great. The stained glass is great. You can't really see because of my lighting right now, but if you look at I don't think it's in my highlights. I'm not sure. But it says this church was original cathedral in New York, the first church in the United States to be dedicated to Ireland's patron, St. Patrick, which is amazing history. I love historic stuff, especially with religion. I think it's cool. Okay, so cornerstone laid on June 9th, 1809. Insane. Building dedicated on May 4th, 1815. During the 1830s and 40s was the object of violent exhibitions of religious bigotry by the American nativist and Know Nothing movements. And then it says the bishops that were Most Reverend Richard Buncannon, 1808 to 1810. Most Reverend John Connolly, 1815 to 1825. Most Reverend John Du Bois, 1826 to 1842. Most Reverend John Hughes, 1842 to 1864. His Eminence John Cardinal McCloskey, 1864 to 1879, and then the pastors. So this must be the first pastor, Reverend Anthony Coleman, 1809 to 1814. Reverend Benedict Benwick, I think that's how you say it, 1814 to 1815. Most Reverend John Connolly, 1815 to 1825. There's a bunch of people on this list. Anyways, I like the way they painted it. It looks like an old piece of paper scroll. Go visit it if you're in the area. It's kind of close by where the San Gennaro's feast was. I'm not sure of the address, but there's the Basilica of Patrick's Old Cathedral, I think, or St. Patrick's Old Cathedral is what it's called. Let me zoom in on the sign. And they still hold mass there, which is nice. Yeah, the Basilica of St. Patrick's Old Cathedral. It's really nice in there. Like I said, it's well preserved. Great. I'll show you my. I also posted this on my story. This is my broccoli rabe sausage from St. Patrick's. Not St. Patrick's. Sorry, I said St. Patrick's. San Gennaro's, and this is them making the sausage fresh. I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong, but $25 is a lot of freaking money, man. Then they had Dubai chocolate cannoli. What are you guys doing with the Dubai chocolate, guys? I never tried it, but I was like, come on. Also, no judgment here. There was also other stalls that were not Italian, which I get. We need to mix up the cultures, but for an Italian feast to have other cultures, it's just kind of like, I grew up going to Italian feasts. And I know like a lot of Italians are multicultural, so it's kind of just weird. Like, but hey, respect to them. I mean, they're putting a 1% market into a place that they'll either flourish or fail. So good for them. But yeah, like they had rides and games and stuff. But again, I don't know. I've been to fairs. Like there's a Greek festival that I go to every year that I'm gonna go to soon. And it goes to the church and they have great food, and I never spent that much like on the food there. Like they'll have gyros for less than $20. So it's just and you know it's going to the church and you know it's going to the community. So it's just one of those things that I'm just like a little bit skeptical about, but hey, go for the love of the game, go for the history. No shade. You could just walk around. It's free admission, so you can at least walk around and see what it's all about. Feel the culture a bit. All right, guys. That's all I have for you. It's over an hour, so I'll end the podcast. Again, apologize for the late posting of the podcast. I've been trying to do a regular schedule of posting on 7 a.m. Eastern Mondays to start the week off with you guys, but yeah, I haven't been feeling well. I started that new job, and scheduling has been a bit crazy, love. Oh, another update. I've been watching Peaky Blinders for the first time. I binged it so hard this week. Since I haven't been feeling good, I gotta start a new show, of course. And yeah, I'm almost through season 5 already, which is kind of crazy. Every time I binge a series and I see how far I can go within a week, I'm just like, oh, you have mental illness, love. Oh, that's fucking crazy, love. So yeah, I have a little bit of an English accent. I feel like that happens with every show I watch, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's been a good time. I never watched anything that Cillian, what's his last name? Cillian Murphy. I never watched anything that he's ever been in, which is an L on my part. Like I never really watched movies. I'd say I kind of watch just animes and shows, and really never had time to really sit down and watch a lot of stuff. I was really into Marvel for some period of time. So I'm kind of trying to, this remainder of the year into next year, just really go hard on watching older movies and shows that I missed out on that are good. And as this fall season comes, I'm going to try to watch I'm going to rewatch all the Lord of the Ring movies because it's been so many years. It's been like 10 years, basically. I remember watching The Hobbit in high school at the midnight release, part 1 and 2. So I don't really remember it much. I like to rewatch all the movies, and then I want to watch the show because I was talking to Chad Music in his stream not too long ago, and he says people say it's good. So I was skeptical about, like shows about movies. Sometimes it's kind of like, should I watch it or not? But it's had some good recommendations, so I'm going to see it through. And I think I'm going to do that for the fall. That's my plans. I always rewatch Harry Potter, like in the wintertime. Also, that's to come. But if you guys ever have the chance to watch Over the Garden Wall, it's a cartoon that came out. I don't know how long ago, but I got it on DVD. Or Cartoon Network shut down, which I thought was like a big W in my part for getting the DVD. But yeah, go watch Over the Garden Wall this spooky season. It's a good show. 10 out of 10 we recommend. All right, guys. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. I will try to not be late on my next podcast episode, but I don't want to make any promises because I'm still not 100%. So I hope you all have a great day. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Have fun this fall season and go do something that makes you happy and feeling majestical and have some good times with your friends and enjoy life. You got to do that. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Go check out my other socials that are down below. I have more in my link tree in my bio. I'm going to be releasing some new merch soon, so check out Fourth Wall. And go check out my Twitch stream. I try to stream once a week now. If you guys can't catch a stream, make sure you join my Discord because I've been doing updates there on when I'm streaming. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. See you guys soon. All right. Bye.